For my first video, I'm going to show how to edit an image with Lightroom only. The concept, or the idea for that matter, for this particular tutorial came about from a few weeks ago. I had an image that received a ton of reaction that I wasn't expecting, and the photo that I'm talking about just so happens to be my cover photo for this for my YouTube channel, for that matter. And with that being said, I'm going to edit this photo with just Lightroom and show how you can basically edit your entire image with just the tools that you have to your disposal in Lightroom. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to click on the auto tone, and it does a pretty good job, but I'm not getting the details that I would like to get from the clouds in the sky. And so I'm going to take the highlights all the way down to 100, and I'm going to take the shadows all the way up to plus 100, and it just gives that nice sort of natural HDR look. And then I'm going to take the blacks down a little bit to about 7. And then actually I'm also going to take the whites up a little bit to about 31. So that's looking pretty good. And the second thing I do is I always go to the tone curve and adjust the midtones. And the nice thing about the tone curve is it really takes your photo from flat to awesome in a hurry. And it just really gets rid of that sort of haziness, that dullness that you have before you apply this this tool. So I'm going to take this down, and yeah, I'm really just liking that sort of, that nice sort of punch it adds to the photo. So here's the before, and here's the after. And then I'm going to take a graduated filter and apply it to the sky, and I'm going to drop the exposure down. And a nice rule for me, or a nice tip for that matter, is take the exposure down a lot, and you can sort of see where it's being applied to, and it's being really just applied to the sky, which I want to really highlight in this photo because it was a sunrise photo, and I couldn't get a lot of those details that I experienced with just the basic editing that I was showing before. And the nice thing about the graduated filter, it's one of my favorite tools in Lightroom. It really can add a lot of detail to skies that are overexposed, and this sort of just helps reveal more of that detail that, again, not trying to sound like a broken record, that you can't really get with just a basic edit. And so with that being said, I'm going to then try to adjust this to my liking. And I'm liking that. It's a little bit over one stop. And then I'm going to go down to the color picker, or the color sampler, and then find a color that will help relive that experience that I saw that morning. So I'm going to try to find a nice sort of orangey pink sort of sunrise color. I'm kind of liking that. And then also what's nice is you can adjust the saturation in this tool as well. So I'm liking that. And then I'm almost done with this photo. I'm going to go down to the color panel and take down the luminance in the blue and the purple. And what I'm doing is basically I'm again even adding more details. Hold up, I need to click done on that filter. And lost my place. Just start adding colors that make sense to me. My whole philosophy is, style or editing for me, it's about adding and subtracting elements that make sense to you as an artist. we're all going to come to a conclusion that makes sense for us. So, as an individual, I highly recommend, going with what you feel like makes sense to you, or makes the best sense for you, for that matter, because there is no right or wrong way when it comes to editing. I mean, basically, make sure you're not adding stuff that just looks totally out there. That's my only rule. And what I'm doing now is taking the green, the yellow, and then even the orange hue down. And why I'm doing that is this is actually, believe it or not, a early autumn photo. So there is a little bit of some autumn colors going on in the middle of the photo, and it's kind of hard to tell because, again, it's early fall and it's Texas. We're not really known for having, extremely badass, fall photos or fall foliage. I mean, certain parts of the state, yes. Certain parts of the state, no. It's not like the East Coast. Either way, I'm trying to get those colors out. And one other thing I want to do is take this luminance up a little bit and just basically Bob Ross, he talked about you can't have dark and dark or light and light because then you don't really have a photo. And what he was trying to basically convey, or at least from my personal opinion, is you need a light color, you need like a dominant light color and a dominant dark color, and that helps balance out the image. So with this photo, the green is the most dominant, and then you have blues and purples and pinks in the background. And I'm kind of liking the way this looks, so I'm going to just end this with a vignette. I'd like to go down to -10 and take the midpoint to 65 for my vignettes. And with a vignette, it's going to basically make the darks or the blacks a little bit darker. So I'm going to go and adjust the blacks a little bit. And that's really about it. And so I just want to close with saying that I'm not advocating for just Lightroom. If you like Lightroom plus another plugin like On1 or Luminar or Topaz or Nik software for that matter, go with what you want to go with. This is your photography. These are your photos, and go with what makes you happy. I'm just trying to show how you can do it in just Lightroom, and so that's all I have for today. I hope you like this tutorial. Hope you get something from this tutorial. Peace.